Defenders in tennis need to have a lot of different type of skills, right? You need to have good footwork, you need to be consistent, you need to have good mental toughness, right? You got to be wanting to retrieve every ball that you see. But I think there's one thing that all good defenders in tennis have in common, and let's explore that. But before we do, I want to say a quick thank you to Winston Du for letting me use this video. Check out his channel for some awesome tennis content, and I'll post a link to his channel in the description area. So let's check out this point real quick, and in particular, let's check out Amy's defensive skills. So this was a quick serve plus 1 point. Not all points that involve defending mean that you have to be scrambling for every ball. Sometimes you have to defend right away, and in this particular case, Winston took a crack at this return here, and it was hit very well here, very hard. And here's the one thing that all defenders have in common with, and that is they have good hands, meaning they are able to absorb that ball very well. And here's the first thing in regards to having good hands. You need to have strong wrist or a strong arm or a strong forearm, right? So when Amy hits this slice here, it's pretty much a stab slice. You know, she has a very strong arm, and you need to have, you know, it needs to be very, very firm, right? You can't be flopping around your arm, and if it's too loose, then it's not going to work. Also, when she sees this incoming ball, she has the ability to recognize that ball, right? Recognition is very important, and be able to time it, right? So, you know, defenders, tennis players that have good hands, they're usually players that are able to time the ball very well, regardless if it's hit hard or not. And finally, tennis players that have good hands have the ability to redirect the ball. It's not just enough to absorb the ball or just block the ball and just have good timing skills. You got to be able to manipulate the ball in some way, either place it or redirect it in a different direction, right? So here's Amy again about to hit this, and she's able to go with this short angle cross court. Was she meaning to go specifically with that short angle? Probably not, but I know she was meaning to go cross court to keep Winston there off balance. So the ability to redirect the ball in a different direction is needed if you're going to be a tennis player that has good hands. And here's just another example, and I'm here on the front end, Daniel's at the far end, and when Daniel hits this hard forehand down the line again, just like in the previous point, like with Winston's shot, you know, it's kind of the same thing here where I just redirected slice cross court there, and I got it in for the winner. It's the same kind of technique, right? So when I see this ball, right, I recognize it's, you know, very well hit. I can't really get two hands on it, right? I have to defend here, but I still want to keep Daniel there off balance. And notice that I just lay my racket back here. Just lay it back. And then I go with this slice, but I don't complete the follow through. It's a little bit abrupt on my follow through. It just ends right there. It's almost like a volley, right? But, you know, the only difference is there is a backswing on this particular shot. I end the follow through there, and I'm just using the pace from that incoming ball. It was well hit by Daniel there, and all I needed to do was tilt the racket face, get something on it with my wrist, and just redirect it cross court, and I could get a winner from that, or just at least get Daniel there to be on the defensive. And here's a different point where Toby here is about to do the same thing, but he's trying to do it with two hands, and it's not going to work. So let's check this out real quick here. Right, so he missed it there, and I think with two hands, it's just a little bit harder to flick balls because that left hand is really in the way. So if you're going to have good defense or good hands, I think at this point here, Toby needs to go with one hand and just kind of use that technique that I did and what Amy did, just kind of a stab slice where you could just flick it cross court, and I think it'll work better. I mean, he missed it by a little bit, right? So it's still possible to kind of have good defense with two hands and just flick balls with two hands, but I think it's just tougher to do because that left hand is in the way. So the most important thing to have when playing good defense is to have good hands, and that is the most common thing in regards to all good defenders. That one thing where you're able to manipulate the ball against hard shots, you're able to redirect the ball. That means you have good defense. And yes, you need to scramble for balls. You need to be mentally tough when you're on defense, but that's a requirement to have good hands. So work on your hand skills, work on your feel, work on your slice, work on the volleys too as well, and you'll have better hands. If you enjoyed this video, kindly do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.